This quick video is an overview of the True Creations Portable Kick Spindle. Hi, I'm Jim Ector from True Creations Wood Turning. I'm the designer and manufacturer of the portable kick spindle. Thank you for coming. I'd like to give you a little overview of who we are and how the kick spindle came to be. So a little bit about us. I've been turning wood for about 45 years. I do a lot of custom work for people all over the country. I do everything from little tiny jewelry box knobs to porch columns. I've been manufacturing drop spindles and other tools for spinners and fiber artists for about 18 years. And I educate, write articles for the National Journal, and I teach and demonstrate. I demonstrate for clubs both live and with remote videos. And I've demonstrated on the national stage as well as a worldwide stage. And my wife and I also run a long arm quilting business called Quilting by Mail. You can find us at my shop, online shop for drop spindles, is tcspindles.com. My general informational website is tcturning.com. Our long arm quilting business is Quilting by Mail. You can find me on YouTube as Spindle Jim, and on Facebook and Instagram as both True Creations Wood Turning and Jim Ector. So a little history about it. This is what I call Model 1. What happened is, it's kind of interesting. I had one day, my doorbell rang, and I had 3 members of my spinning guild show up at my door. And they said, Jim, you need to design a new kick spindle. Everything on the market sucks. And that was their exact words. They're clunky. They aren't made for production spinning. They just don't work. They're novelties, but we know that they work. One member of my guild had a kick spindle that was designed well over 30 years ago, made by a man, I think, in West Virginia. And it was it worked, but it had a great big heavy flywheel, and the shaft was made out of steel, and when you took it apart it was like having a sword. It didn't have bearings or anything. It worked. She used it for a number of years as her only spinning device, but since then really nothing's been on the market that's really very good. So we set out with a bunch of design criteria on what they wanted, and what we came up with, it was my Model 1. And it was portable, but you ended up with 5 pieces. It did have a pretty heavy flywheel. I did enter it into a national wood turning exhibition. It got accepted. It ended up traveling the country for about a year. And while it was traveling, I started to think about how I could really make a portable, self-contained kick spindle. And consequently, we ended up with designing Model 2. I had several expert spinners advise me on it and work with me. We defined the design criteria. I actually ended up building 7 prototypes. I then finalized the design. I then designed and built the jigs and fixtures that are required to make this. It's very accurate when I assemble it, and consequently we end up with just high performance. And it went into production, and I now have customers all over the world. I've got them in Japan, Australia, all over Europe, Canada, and of course all over the United States. So with that, let me show you how it works. So last month at my local spinning guild meeting, we had a round robin of spinning wheels, and this individual wanted to try the kick spindle. And this was after about 3 minutes of practice. Now she's a very good, talented spinner, but you can see, you just kind of give it a kick, you draft, you then wind on your fiber into the cop, and you can put a lot of fiber on that spindle, and you give it another kick and away you go. And because of the bearings and the way this thing is balanced and it performs, you can really concentrate on your drafting. So with that, let me show you the portable kick spindle. So this is it. It weighs about 6 pounds. It's been designed to fit inside of a suitcase. I have one of my very first customers. Her husband was traveling the country on business for a year, and she decided to go with him. And so she wanted a spinning wheel that would fit in her suitcase, and this does. I've got other customers that this is their only wheel that they have. I have other customers that just take them to their spinning guild meeting because it's a lot lighter and easier to carry than a full-size wheel. And then I have others that are in RVs and things like that you know, they don't want to have a big spinning wheel. This has been designed to do production level spinning. So you take the knob out, and this is the flywheel. The kick shaft has been textured. It was one of the design criteria. They wanted to be able to spin this thing with bare feet, with socks, or in shoes. It's made very tight tolerances, so the flywheel's been balanced and everything. You put it into the swing arm, and then lower it into the lower bearing. Now you take the spindle, put on the whirl, that slides in, and the knob has a place to store. You set it on the floor, and you give it and I ship it with a rubber mat so it doesn't slide. You want to come off the tip at about a 45-degree angle. And the beauty and the advantage of coming off the tip is you can spin anything on it. You can spin thin, you can spin thick, you can spin art yarns, whatever you want. And because of the size of the spindle, you can put a lot of fiber on here. So you just have to give it a couple kicks, and you can then concentrate on your drafting. And you know, you're going to run out of arm length before this thing stops. So you just slow it down, give it a little kick on the opposite direction. You wind on your your fiber, continue it up the spindle, and away you go. So it's very efficient. As I said, this has been designed and to do production level spinning. So again, if you're interested in checking it out, you can order it at tcspindles.com. If you go to my main site, there are more customer pictures and whatnot, a little more descriptive information on the kick spindle. If you're a quilter and need to have a quilt long arm quilted, check out Quilting by Mail. And of course, you can check out my videos on YouTube. There's a lot more wood turning videos there, but there are quite a few spinning oriented videos up there. And then, of course, check out my Facebook and Instagram page. So with that, I want to thank you for watching my video, and I look forward to making a kick spindle for you.